Imagine you have 3 children. Now, imagine only one can live. You have to let the other 2 die. That's what it's like to be a multipotentialite. Hi, I'm Dr. B, the Creativity Sensei. I inspire others to do their art, no matter what kind of art they do. A multipotentialite is somebody who is creative in multiple genres. The term was created by Emily Wapnick, an artist, writer, and speaker. You should look up her YouTube video, or rather her TED Talk. Very inspiring. I consider myself to be a multipotentialite because I write, I dabble in art, digital art, I sew, I love to cook, I love to inspire others. You might also find you're comfortable working in multiple genres. You paint, you make music, you garden, you're a carpenter. Many people will advise you the only way to get something done is pick one thing and work on just that until it's finished. That advice is so frustrating to the multipotentialite. It is literally like telling a parent of triplets, only one can survive. We need to keep the whole family going and thriving. But as artists, makers, creatives, we also feel a need to finish a project now and then. What can we do? And what are some strategies that will help you meet your potential? Well, after a few years on this planet, I have discovered a few things that work for me. So I'm going to share some of those ideas. One, you need to have a strategy so that you can work on multiple things, not at the same time, but within the same time frame. And by that I mean maybe any given day. I created a method, I call it the 20-minute solution, where you set a timer and you work for 20 minutes. 20 minutes is such a perfect amount of time. Why? Because 3 can fit in an hour. And sometimes we are able to do multiple sessions of the 20-minute solution. But also, 20 minutes isn't that long. It's easy to carve out 20 minutes before you go to work. One thing you could do is set your alarm clock just 20 minutes earlier. Another thing you can do is be a little bit more efficient about your morning routine. A couple extra minutes the night before, thinking about what you're going to wear, maybe preparing your lunch, definitely finding your keys, your wallet, your purse, and putting them next to the door so that you're not frantically looking for them in the morning when you got to catch a bus or get in your car. If you can do that with intention, you might be able to find 20 minutes before you start your day. The amazing thing is that if you do that, you are going to notice an elevation in your emotions. I've tracked it myself. I have a way to actually put a number on my emotions. You can find that on my website, and I'll put a link in the description below. You might also be able to carve out 20 minutes during a lunch break or coffee break, depending on what you do, where you work, what your situation is. Even if you work in a frantic job, an alarm going off. You're entitled to a little bit of private time. If you're a writer, maybe you can pull out your laptop and devote 20 minutes to a new story or a poem or an essay or a chapter in a novel. If you're an artist and you're unable to bring your supplies with you, you can sketch and plan and decide what you will do when you're standing in front of your easel. A musician can think about and probably rehearse a lot of things in their mind. I've heard that going through the motions with, say, a violin or clarinet mentally is as efficient a form of practice as actually playing an instrument. A gardener could spend some time planning out their spring garden, maybe shopping for seeds. It doesn't matter. You need to take those 20 minutes. And then a third session during the day, maybe in the evening, after dinner, maybe right before you go to bed. Now, switch to your other art form and give that second or third child some nutritional support too. I believe that the greatest gift that a multipotentialite enjoys is how one art form feeds and supports another art form. Many years ago, my husband and I owned and operated a drapery workroom. Interior designers sent me fabric and specifications, and then I cut the fabric and assembled draperies, valances, swags and jabots, all kinds of soft treatments to decorate their clients' homes. But before I would start my day in the workroom, I always spent about 90 minutes writing. I told people I sew so I can write, and I write so I can sew. One could not be divorced from the other. Both mattered to me. Consider that one of your greatest gifts. And another thing that you can do that will motivate you to actually complete projects is think about gifting somebody something that you make, something you create, a special gift just for them. For this to work, you need to have a specific person in mind and also a specific date. A few years back, a friend of mine who is also a talented musician, she plays clarinet in the Claflin Hills Symphony Orchestra, and she also is a very talented potter. She had the opportunity to buy a storefront, which she turned into a teaching studio and also a retail space. When she announced that she was going to have a grand opening, I knew I was going to make her something. She often posted photographs of her beautiful pots. She has a color palette that is soothing, many of her pots being in a shade of blue, navy, turquoise, white. I stole quite a few of the images of these pots. And then I designed fabric. I determined that I was going to make a top for her that I would present to her at the store opening. I had, about 6 weeks. And if you design and order fabric, custom fabric, it can take 10 days, 2 weeks. I had to figure that in. Plus the time to construct the garment. Of course, one thing that makers know, having a due date motivates you to finish projects. her store opening became my due date. I will never forget the look on her face when I handed this small package to her. When she opened it and saw images of her own pots on fabric that had been made into a top that she could actually wear. It was like a gleam in her eye. It was magical. It was so fun. She immediately stepped into her ladies' room and changed her top and wore that for the rest of the night. It gave me such a thrill. A multipotentialite like yourself, or an artist or maker, creative of any type, think about how you could gift something, anything, to a friend, to a relative. Maybe it's for their birthday. Maybe it's a special event. Or maybe it's just because. And that can be the most special reason of all. Decide on that specific person and write the date on the calendar, and then work backward. You can use those 20 minutes a few times a day now to work on that project. And before you finish, be sure to decide on your next new make. And finally, I would say the only caveat or warning for a multipotentialite is listening to people who say, no, you can only do one thing. Just focus on one thing. I'm thinking of people like Lin-Manuel Miranda. Obviously, a talented composer, but also an actor, a singer, a writer, and a speaker. So inspiring. Or Steve Martin, comedian, actor, banjo player. So many people have multiple talents. What are yours? What are you going to work on? Can you figure out how you could take 20 minutes 3 times a day and devote to the 20-minute solution? I actually have a special project, and that is to record my own sessions where we work side by side. You work on your stuff and put on my 20-minute solution videos, and I will be working on my stuff. You don't need to set a timer. I'll let you know when the time is up. It can be fun. Check out those videos too. I hope that I have inspired you just a little bit today, and I can't wait to see what you've made and talk to you soon. Bye!